Hi everyone, long time no see. As you can probably see from the little other video in my channel, I haven't posted on here in years. I've been devouring BookTube lately, specifically Haley Fam Vlogs and Steph Bower. Life update, I go to LSU now, and I'm back in Orlando for the summer, so I'll kind of go through these phases where like I read like I'm a book a day, like really just grinding them out, and then I will stop reading for months. So I am in the phase of reading 900 million books a day right now. So I'm gonna go through all the books that I've read this month. Some of them are from May. Yeah, all of these are either young adult romance or adult romance. So do with that as you must. We're gonna put a spice meter. I'm gonna give like my little rating and a little synopsis of the book. My TBR is that entire bookcase. Yeah. I'm just gonna start it off with a bang. I am rereading this trilogy. I'm about halfway through on the second book. You already know what I'm gonna say. The series came out on Amazon Prime June 17th, and I am rereading The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. Hands down, one of like probably my favorite series. Like, I'm just so invested. It's not it's like a 1, like spice level 1. All of you already know probably, but basically the entire trilogy follows this girl named Belly, and she goes on a beach vacation every summer with like her brother, her mom, and then her mom's best friend and her 2 sons. And then she kind of gets in this little love triangle with them, and like just a whole bunch of drama happens between all of them. Anyways, it is a really good book. I will always recommend The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. I'm pretty sure I bought this in 2015. I cannot find this edition being sold anywhere. This was $12. Like, I know I got it at Barnes & Noble or something, but now the trilogies packed into one are literally like $50. No, girl, I got the entire trilogy for $12. Like, it's classic. The TV show was adapted. It's way different than the book, but it's good in its own way. And the books are also good in their own way, I feel like. It's just a really fun, it's just giving summer, it's giving romance, it's giving like first love, obviously, because she's 15, 16. Another really good book I read this year was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This book basically follows 2 co-workers. It's kind of like a nemesis to lovers, not even friends. Like, they're not friends. Like, the book starts off with the definition of the word hate. Like, it's hateful. They grow closer, form a relationship. Obviously, that's the plot. I would give it like 4 out of 5. I'm not gonna say it's like the best of the best. I really like the way it was written. There's not that much spice in it. There's maybe 2-3 scenes tops, but it's mostly Lucy who is like realizing that her hate is actually love for Josh. So you kind of see those thoughts develop. It's really good. I definitely recommend it. And Sally Thorne is just an amazing writer. And The Hating Game also got turned into a movie. I watched the movie before I read the book. It was just one of those things where I was like, let me just kind of see what I'm getting myself into. So the next book I read, so good, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Girl, this 100% fan fiction between Kylo Ren and Rey, but it's set in like academia, so it's like, oh, it's good. The only thing that I felt, the reason I didn't give it 5 stars, I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because they kept bringing up like it's a fiction book. It's obviously a fiction book. Like, she basically, the plot is like she goes up and like kisses this random dude because of whatever's going on, and it happens to be the guy main character. It's a fiction book. Like, I've read other fiction books where it's like, oh, the girl goes up and kisses the guy randomly, and then it's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, blah 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 blah, you probably hate me, like that wasn't okay. I swear she went on for like 2 to 4 whole pages just trying to be like politically correct about the whole situation. I was like, okay, like it's great that that subject's talked about, but at the same time, it is a fiction book. And there's a lot of other fiction books I've read where it's not like that. It just felt like she just wanted to make sure that she like put in there that like we're going to be politically correct. Further in the book, she like goes on and on about it again, and it's like, okay girl, like we get it the first time. He said it was whatever. Personally, that's more of like a personal preference, because obviously some people don't care, but that just like bothered me because I was like, okay, why do we need to keep dragging this on? It wasn't really furthering the plot, so I was just like, okay, whatever. Pretty much everywhere it's like love hypothesis, but it is really good. I don't think it was overhyped at all. It's pretty like slow burn, but like their emotional connection is like literally everything. I did not know what I was getting myself into with this series. I thought I could just read the first book and kind of like, okay, maybe I don't have to read the other two. No girl, it was a cliffhanger at the end of the first book. Like I'm really late to the game. I read the Selection series, the Selection, the Elite, and the One. I flew through these. It's not actually spicy, it's just emotionally spicy, if that makes sense. But it was really good. I feel like it was just like a really fun read. None of the real main events, in my opinion, happened until the third book, so I was kind of just like, okay, let's get through this. But it was really fun to read. It's definitely for 100% YA. Like, girl, we know it's YA. I can't wait for this to be turned into a movie. I've been hearing for years that's supposed to be turned into a movie. I just never read the books, so now I have, and I approve of Max and Shreve. As a whole, I'm gonna give the Selection series a 3 out of 5, only because like most of the content in the books was just fluff. I don't know, like it was obviously them going through the competition and blah 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 blah. Like all the political stuff was just a whole other thing. I know a lot of people have said like, oh, when I was little I skipped through the political stuff, and for good reason. The first book, honestly, I felt like it introduced everything, but it was a complete waste because the second book picked up at, okay, well now there's this many girls left in the competition. It was just like, okay, we kind of could have skipped through a lot of this and saved ourselves an entire book basically. If you just want a kind of quick, easy, fun read, then definitely read the Selection series. So many people love it, and I can see why. Like, it's literally addicting because she leaves you on so many cliffhangers at the end of every book. Next, girl, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I read this in a day, girl. I mean, I read basically all these in a day, but I read this one like super speed, like Sonic. This book is like 5 out of 5 on the spicy scale. So good. This is one of those books where it's like, okay, physical stuff first, emotional connection last, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. It follows this girl Tate, and she has to live with her brother until she like gets on her feet from moving and stuff, but she develops like a physical relationship with his neighbor in the apartment complex, and it kind of just shows like why it's only a physical relationship, and then both of them kind of wanting it to be more. So yeah, it's really good. The chapters go back and forth between present and past to show like why Miles is the way he is, and it's really sad. Like, this book is really sad. I feel like his past, the only reason I gave it 4 stars instead of 5 is because I feel like his past, it's really sad, but every single point of view of his was his past, and just like really going into depth, and it honestly made it seem like he loved the girl in his past relationship way more than Tate, which takes away from like the story now, and it could have been summed up a lot sooner. Like, they could have explained a little bit, okay, points of view present, and then at the end said, okay, this is how it ended, and this ultimately is why he is the way he is, which I feel like would have made a lot more sense, rather than it basically being 2 relationships going at the same time in the book. So it was just really, I feel like it just took away from the relationship of the actual book. Like, just, he was too much in the past, but then again, that was also the point of his character, was like being too much in the past. Anyways, once again, really good book. Very spicy. Next, I read Float by Kate Marchant. Just look at the cover. Like, this is so cute. It follows the main girl, Waverly. Her parents are like research specialists. Like, they live in Alaska. She's never had a real summer. She ends up going to stay with her aunt for the summer, and then a little relationship forms between her and the boy next door. Basically, this book is giving The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I love. There's not really spice in it, which Honestly, I was kind of expecting more because it is a Wattpad book. It's very much a beach read. It's in the same category as The Summer I Turned Pretty. Like, it's really good. It's not as iconic as The Summer I Turned Pretty because nothing's gonna be as iconic, you know? Basically, The Summer I Turned Pretty, but without the brother aspect. It's just her neighbor. So if you like The Summer I Turned Pretty, you are definitely going to like Float. Okay, I saved the best for last. I saved the most hyped for last. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I finally read it. Finally just bit the bullet and read it. I have so many emotions about this book. Like, I see why people love it so much. This was like, I remember reading it, like, this was the first book in like genuinely years, if ever, that has really, it really got me. Because in the middle of the book, I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know who she's gonna end up with. Like, I'm not sure. Usually I know. Colleen Hoover in this book does such a good job. It basically feels like you're in Lily's shoes, falling in love with this guy, and then it's just not what you expect it to be. Like, it's really a plot twist. I mean, I'm not gonna say it because that's gonna spoil the entire book. It just goes between past and present and like her first love versus the guy she's with now, and becoming an entrepreneur, and then forming friends in this new city that she just moved to. And it's really good. It's sad. It's not a happy book, but she is a really, really strong main character. Like, this is probably one of the strongest, like, female characters that isn't just like, oh, like, you know, like typical romance books, they're like, oh, I'm gonna go for the bad boy. I'm not gonna, like, this girl, she actually does what people would do in real life, and I really admire that about her character. And I'm also really excited for It Starts With Us to come out. Because now that I finally read this, obviously I'm gonna want to read that one, so I'm just like super excited. I'm probably gonna make another video about my TBR, at least for the month. I am going on vacation a lot in July. I just kind of feel like casually posting on this channel. A lot of people, like, for years have been asking me to do book videos, book reviews, book recommendations, so I feel like now was just the right time. I genuinely love to talk with people about books and like go back and forth. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for me to read, put them down below. If you have any thoughts about the books, about the videos, anything, literally put them down below. All of these were completely like my personal opinion. Certain things I just don't like the way books are written, and to each their own. I will see y'all soon. Welcome back to me.